What's up, guys? This is Sin with Vengeance, and I'm back here with Madden on the screen for once. So what I'm having to talk about today is my future plans with Madden 15 and other things like season predictions. So this is kind of like an update video, so please, if you would like, go to another tab, do whatever else you were doing before you clicked on this video. Like, go check out Twitter, Facebook, whatever. Keep playing your video games and whatnot, because I might be sitting here for a while just talking about some stuff. So what are my plans for Madden 15? Well, I do have a special announcement. I am bringing Madden 15 to my channel, Madden 15 franchise, with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They are my favorite team, and they kind of need some help right now. They did hire Lovie Smith and Leslie Frazier. They got they got McCown. I can't remember his first name. It's either Luke McCown or Josh McCown. I think it's Josh. But that is a nice addition to the team. We also have Mike Evans, a nice receiver threat. So it's going to be nice to see what I can do with that team. Hopefully turn that team around in the franchise. I plan on doing a lot with that. So be prepared for that when Madden comes out. Also, I'm also doing a connected player franchise. Not on this channel, but I will be doing one. That is going to be a special series over on another channel that if you guys go click on my channel, there'll be another if you look on my sidebar, like cool friends and whatnot, little sub boxes and whatnot, you'll see that we are SGN, a little channel that's coming up soon. So I will be doing a connected player franchise with my friend Cody, Babe Gaming, with a cornerback named Marcus Branch. So get prepared for that as well. Go over there and subscribe to that channel as well. And that is all I have for the updates. There will be more MLB The Show, more NCAA. There's nothing going to be changing with that. Just adding another series. I want to see what I can do with my Buccaneers and see if I could take them to the promised land back when they won it in 2003. So it's going to be a nice little progression. And now, on to the main part of the video, what you guys probably wanted to come here to watch this video for. My 2015 NFL predictions. I'm going to be giving you nice full analysis on why I picked these teams and to win the division or for the records they have. So please respect my opinions and I will respect yours. And please do not, go around on my comment section just because I hated on your favorite team. I don't mean to. It's just how it is. Just please be respectful, and I will do the same to you guys. It's kind of like what I do with my top 5s over on my Pokemon channel. So make sure you guys, I'm not saying go check it out or nothing, but please be respectful and please understand that it is just my opinion and it's what I feel. So you guys have your own feelings too, so you guys can always comment on what you guys think down in the comment section below. So on with the AFC East. We're going to start there. Obviously, the New England Patriots are the ultimate favorite right now. Gronk's coming back. They still don't have Eric Hernandez. They're probably not going to have him ever again because for one, he just got cut from the team. I don't think they're ever going to re-sign him back if he ever comes back to the NFL. But Gronk is still a big threat. Do I think he's going to stay healthy this year? Maybe. I think he's going to play like 14 games. 14 games is what I think he's going to play this year. He might have like a game or two off because of like something pulled. They don't want to take anything, like they don't want to take any risks with him, so they're just going to be extra precautionary with him. So I think that New England will do excellent this year. I think, of course, they're going to finish this year. I think they're going to finish 12-4. That's what I think. I'm not too sure on that. They got Revis, they got Browner. The defense is all revamped. The only concern for me is the outside edges with the receivers. They don't really have anybody that's like big names or anybody like that. I think their best receiver is actually Julian Edelman. I could be wrong though. So please be aware that I'm just basing it off of what I know. And if they have any good receivers, let me know in the comment section too. Like, let me know about everything, like what you guys think. Now on to the second place team that I think is going to finish second place in the AFC East. I think it's going to be the Buffalo Bills. The EJ Manuels showed that he's a pretty good quarterback last year. He had a little bit of rough patches in his first rookie season, but he still finished with a positive touchdown to interception ratio, which is a good sign for the Buffalo Bills because they really haven't had anybody that has really stepped up to try and be a franchise player, especially for how young EJ Manuel is. I think he's going to be fine. The Buffalo Bills' running game is simply outstanding. I know Stevie Johnson is gone. and they still got Sammy Watkins. So I think Sammy Watkins will be a great receiver to that team. I think he'll do fine, and I expect the Bills to finish at least 8-8. If they finish 7-9, I mean, it's not too bad either. 8-8 and 7-9 is probably like where they're going to be at. So on to the third place team who I think is going to finish in the AFC East. It's going to be the Miami Dolphins, I think. Miami is just, they're non-existent on offense, basically. Outside of Ryan Tannehill, who I think is a decent quarterback, he just doesn't have any weapons. Mike Wallace is a nice weapon and all, but you need more than one good receiver to make that team good. Their defense is pretty good as well. They don't have a running game, and somehow they just finish like 7-9 like they always do. It's just the Miami Dolphin way, I guess, lately. And they really haven't done anything. They really don't have an offensive line either, so Tannehill's going to be struggling in the pocket this year. He's going to be doing a lot of running this year. So expect the Dolphins to finish around 7-9, 6-10. And the last place team, the New York Jets. I think they're going to finish around 6-10. I don't think they're very good. They really haven't done anything. Yeah, you could say Eric Decker is a good signing, but I mean, he's not. I don't think he's going to do that well in New York. It's just because of the system. Rex Ryan doesn't really have a good offensive team around him. Like, they don't have much of a running game. They have a couple of good receivers. Decker's a good receiver. Keller's a good receiver, but I mean, Santonio Holmes as well. But they don't have a really good quarterback. It's kind of up and down with Geno Smith. So that's why I think that you're going to see the Jets finish around 6-10. So the New England Patriots will walk away out of the AFC East a winner. So on to the AFC North now. The clear-cut winner for me has got to be the Cincinnati Bengals. But I still do not like the fact that Andy Dalton got that huge contract. I don't think he's worth $115 million. Not even a little bit. He hasn't proven himself in this league to be considered an elite quarterback, or to be paid like one at least. He hasn't won a single playoff game. He's had, what, 3 chances now? And he's fucked up on all 3 of them. He had really good chances to at least go deep into the playoffs because of that defense. That defense is the one that's really carrying Cincinnati to the playoffs most of these times. AJ Green's an outstanding receiver. And Cincinnati's got a really just an explosive offense. It just, when it comes to the playoff time or when it comes to down to clutch time, Andy Dalton just crumbles. So I still think Cincinnati's like a clear-cut winner in that division because everybody else in that division is just pretty much mediocre. But that's just my opinion. On to the Baltimore Ravens, who I think are going to finish second place in that division. I think Baltimore might finish. Cincinnati I think is going to finish 11-5. Baltimore I think will finish like 9-7. I think Flacco will have a bounce back year compared to last year. Same with Ray Rice after he gets back from his 2-game suspension. So it'll be nice to see Baltimore make a nice comeback. I think, now that they added Owen Daniels and Dennis Pitt is coming back, I think the Ravens will be set to make the playoffs. Maybe even 10-6 for the Ravens. Who knows? I think they're way better than last year just because of the fact that Owen Daniels. Now they got a 2 tight end system that's gonna work. 2 tight end system is like the way to go nowadays. It seems like, because New England's running it and it's just worked wonders for them. And not to mention that Tom Brady's their freaking quarterback. So I mean, it's only going to get better for New England if they can find a nice backup to him once he retires. But on to the third place team in the AFC North, I have the Pittsburgh Steelers. Yes, I think the Steelers are going to finish around 8-8. They're kind of just kind of an average team now. I mean, the only reason they're going to be finishing that well is mainly because of coaching, and Ben Roethlisberger is a pretty good quarterback as well. Mike Tomlin, I love Tomlin as a coach. Very passionate about his job, and very good coach too. I like him a lot as a coach. He just doesn't have the personnel he used to have back when he won a Super Bowl. So obviously, they really don't have much outside of Roethlisberger. So they're just another average team. I don't expect them to make any noise. I don't expect them to even make a sniff towards a playoff run. That's just my opinion, though. So again, respect the opinions. So I'm gonna probably mention this many times in my videos. Respect the opinions. But now on to the last place team, the Cleveland Browns. The Cleveland Browns. They're gonna be better. I don't think they're gonna be good. They're gonna be better. They don't have Josh Gordon. Obviously, he's a fucking retard for what he did in the offseason. He needs help. This is like, his 3rd time offense of doing something against the NFL's policies. So, obviously, he needs to be dealt with. So, Brian Hoyer is going to be the starting quarterback. I don't know why that ESPN keeps on overplaying this Johnny Manziel situation. Yeah, he sells tickets. Good for them. But we all know Brian Hoyer is going to be the starting quarterback. Like, before he tore his ACL, he was doing really good. The Browns were 3-0 when he started. So the Browns have something going. I think the Browns will finish 7-9 they have a championship caliber defense. They just have no offense. They have no one to throw the ball to. They have no one, well, they technically have no one to run the ball with. So Brian Hoyer will make the best out of the situation. Josh Gordon's going to be dearly missed. That's why I think if they would have had Josh Gordon, I think the Browns might have actually, made a push for the playoffs. But without him, I mean, this offense is basically nothing. So I think the Browns will finish like 7-9, 6-10, better than that 4-12 that they had last year. So it's getting up and up for the Browns. I mean, they're coming back and they're trying to revitalize themselves. So we'll see how that goes. But now on to the AFC South. The Indianapolis Colts. I mean, that division's just a complete disaster right now. Everybody's getting injured. Everybody's just still too young. But I still think the Indianapolis Colts are the clear favorite in that division. Andrew Luck is just a really clutch quarterback and just finds ways to get it done. It's not like Andrew Luck's the one who's injured. If they didn't have Andrew Luck, I mean, we might be looking at, the Tennessee Titans winning that division. Just saying. That division's just worn down. It's beat up. And it's a complete disaster for them right now. Especially with the Colts owner just being dealt with by the commissioner, and it's just a complete disaster in Indianapolis right now, and in the entire division. Andre Johnson wants to get traded. The Tennessee Titans don't even know who their starting quarterback is or long term, and the Jacksonville Jaguars are the Jacksonville Jaguars. So, so I still think that Indianapolis will finish like maybe 10-6. I still think that the Colts are a very good team. Just have a lot of issues right now. They'll fight through it. The Colts are very, very tough skin. They have rough skin. They're very thick-skinned, and I think that the Colts will still win that division. In second place, though, I would probably have to go Tennessee, finishing like 7-9. Nothing really special about Tennessee. Nothing makes them good. Nothing makes them bad. They're not anything special. The Houston Texans will finish third. I would say at around 5-11. They lost Owen Daniels, and they really don't know who their quarterbacks is for the long term. And Andre Johnson wants to get traded. I don't think he wants to play for that team anymore. I think he's going to have a down year because of that. Just because of the low morale that he has for that team right now. I don't blame him for wanting to leave Houston. But honestly, like, I really don't blame him. They really tried so much with him, and they just haven't gotten the job done. So in last place, I got the Jacksonville Jaguars. Although I do like the direction they're going in, I think Jacksonville will finish maybe 4-12 compared to maybe 5-11, maybe 5-11, 6-10. It's really a toss-up between the last place team, to be honest. I think Houston might finish 6-10, and same with Jacksonville. Jacksonville's really got their stuff going in the right direction. Picking up Blake Bortles, even though he's not going to start right away. I think if Jacksonville really is struggling, like if they start off 0-8 or something like that, like you might see Blake Bortles just start for the rest of the season and see what he can do. But that's my predictions on the AFC South, and now on to the AFC West. Now, the Denver Broncos, obviously the favorite because Peyton Manning. But they did pick up DeMarcus Ware, which is a really good pickup. I think that he'll make a huge impact on that defense. And I wouldn't say maybe push them over to the hump to the Super Bowl, but definitely take them far, like last year. I think losing Eric Decker was kind of a big blow to them because he scored 24 touchdowns in the past 2 seasons. So he's really made an impact on that defense. Offense, my bad. So, I think the Broncos will finish maybe 13-3. Peyton Manning's still one of the best quarterbacks. He won't like break any records this year with touchdown passes and yards and stuff, but he'll still make a huge impact on that team. I expect him to throw like 45 touchdown passes. Second place team, it's really a toss-up between the Chargers and the Chiefs. The Chargers Phillip Rivers just makes that team good. He was the reason why they made the playoffs last year. I really liked what Phillip Rivers did last year. But the problem is, can he do it again with the team that he has? The Chargers really haven't made any noise in this offseason. So I haven't heard anything newsworthy about the Chargers. Same with the Chiefs, but they were a lot better. So I think I'm leaning towards the Chiefs in second place because of what they have. They have more of a deep personnel than the Chargers. but I still think that the Chargers are still a playoff-worthy team. I think the Chiefs will finish 10-6, and same with the Chargers. So we have 3 potential teams out of the AFC West once again making the playoffs. But obviously in last place, we do have the Oakland Raiders, but I like the direction they're going in. They did pick up Matt Schaub, who I think he's a good quarterback. I just think he had a really bad season. But I don't know if he's going to be washed up. They do have Maurice Jones-Drew. They're actually trying to make improvements to that team. So I think they're going to finish like 6-10. Way better than what they did last year. So the Oakland Raiders are definitely on the up and up. Watch them try and, win a few games here and there. Maybe not anything too eye-popping, but you never know. You just play every Sunday, right? But so now the playoff teams that I have for the AFC are the Patriots, the Colts, the Bengals, and the Broncos, and the wildcard teams are the Chiefs and the Chargers once again. So it's basically the same playoff teams from last year. AFC really didn't do much to it. The lower teams anyway didn't really do much to improve themselves like dramatically, like a huge turnaround. Maybe the Buffalo Bills, but they're still not going to make the playoffs just because they are still pretty young on the offensive side, and who knows. But those are my 6 playoff teams, and now we're going to move on to the NFC. So on the NFC East, that's a toss-up between the Eagles and the Redskins, really. The Redskins, I think they're going to improve a lot because, one, RG3 is going to be completely healthy, and they got Deshaun Jackson now, and Alfred Morris is going to be 100%. I think the Redskins and the Eagles are both going to finish 10-6 apiece. The Dallas Cowboys are the Dallas Cowboys. They're going to finish 8-8 because they're just the Dallas Cowboys. They're the Cowboys. Come on. And the Giants are going to finish around the same record. That's a really stacked division. I think the Giants might actually finish 9-7. So we got the Eagles and the Redskins at 10-6 apiece. We also have the Dallas Cowboys finishing 8-8 like they always do, and I have the New York Giants finishing like 9-7. So that's a really stacked division. I would not be surprised if we had 3 playoff teams in that division, but I think there's only going to be 2. And give credit to the Eagles. Nick Foles, Shady McCoy, Darren Sproles, really good players. They have a really just loaded offense. They play very fast. I expect that team to do extremely well. I expect Nick Foles to just do great things like he has throughout his entire career so far. I love what he does, and that's my prediction. I think it's going to be a toss-up between the Eagles and the Redskins. So on to the NFC North, I do have the Packers in a clear-cut favorite as long as they stay healthy. Now, if the Packers can't stay healthy, I expect the Bears to win that division. But seeing that as is, everybody healthy right now, the Packers are a clear-cut favorite. I expect the Packers to go 12-4 with everybody healthy. So Aaron Rodgers is one of the best quarterbacks in the league. Jordy Nelson turning into one of the best receivers in the league, in my opinion. And the Packers are just getting healthy. Like I said, they just need to stay healthy. That's all they have. That's all their problems every single year. They can't stay healthy. They can't stay healthy. That's why you see them in the wild cards instead of the divisional rounds, getting the first week bye. They can't stay healthy. I think this year they might actually do it. Bears will finish second at like 9-7 because the Bears they have a really good offense, but they can't play defense. They had a problem with their defense. I still think they're going to have a problem on their defensive side, but I think it'll be improved, not by much. I'm just throwing that out there. I like the Bears. They're my second favorite team, and I don't think they're going to be that good compared to the Packers. But hey, we're going to move on to the third place team, and I think that's going to be the Detroit Lions, finishing at 7-9. The Lions are so talented. They're just like the Dallas Cowboys. They're so talented, but they lack discipline, and they can't get it done when it comes down to crunch time. They start off very hot, and then they just go ice cold. That's just the Detroit Lions in a nutshell. And the Ndamukong Suh, that whole defense is just like they think they're tough guys, and they don't play defense correctly. They always throw out these dumb freaking penalties, and it always shoots them in the foot. So that's going to be the Lions every single year until they get their shit together. So I expect the Lions to finish 7-9. And as the Minnesota Vikings, I live here in Minnesota. They're actually having training camp here in Mankato where I live, like right across the street. And they talk highly of Teddy Bridgewater. I would not be surprised if the Vikings finish like 6-10 and Bridgewater starting midway through the season, just to see if he can get some reps and really get a feel of how this team plays. Especially with a new head coach, Mike Zimmer, I don't think they're going to do that well. He's a great pickup, don't get me wrong, but I don't think they're going to be that great because of the personnel they have and just the experience at the quarterback position. Castle's a good quarterback, but Bridgewater's probably going to be starting midway through the season. On to the NFC South. For me, I think it's going to be New Orleans or Atlanta again. It's going to be a two-team race, but that division's pretty tough to win in, especially with Drew Brees and Matt Ryan. Both teams are completely healthy now, and I expect New Orleans to come out of that division 12-4. New Orleans is just a better team than Atlanta when it comes down to the end of it. I mean, the Atlanta Hawks. Wow, I'm getting all my Atlanta shit mixed up. The Atlanta Falcons are just coming back off of a just really bad year where they just had injury after injury after injury, and they never stayed healthy. I think Julio Jones missed like a good chunk of that season, and same with Steven Jackson. So they never really got a chance to be at 100%, and that defense was extremely weak as well, and it showed like how much the defense was just worn out throughout the entire season. So I expect the Atlanta Falcons to come back, maybe finish 11-5, 10-6, somewhere around there. The Carolina Panthers have lost so much, not defensively, but they have nothing in their passing game. Their run game is going to be spectacular as always, but they cannot pass the ball because they have no one to throw to outside of Greg Olsen. Brandon LaFell's gone. Steve Smith's in Baltimore. So expect the Carolina Panthers to finish around 8-8 because they can't really score. They're going to have a bunch of games where it's like 15-10. That was just like last year, though. I mean, just saying. And as far as my Tampa Bay Buccaneers, the team I'm doing the franchise with, I expect the Buccaneers in real life to go around 8-8, 7-9. I love Lovie Smith as a hire for the head coach. It was great start. And then they went out and got Mike Evans, the tall-ass receiver from Texas A&M, Johnny Manziel's favorite target in college. And they got Mike Glennon. They got Josh McCown as two solid quarterbacks that can come in and fill in at any given time. Doug Martin's going to come back and have a spectacular season. I expect him to rush for 1,200 yards. And same with this. They have two deep threats in Vincent Jackson and Mike Evans. So this team, I expect to do very better than last year. I don't expect them to make the playoffs yet, but they're really heading in the right direction. Team that just really wants to win. Their defense is still very young. Gerald McCoy is still a beast. Mark Barron, Levante David, all really good defensive players, all still pretty young. So give this team a few more years, and you can see them as a Super Bowl contender. Who knows? But I expect them to finish 7-9. On to the NFC West. We have the Seattle Seahawks winning in a clear-cut race. I expect them to finish like 13-3, maybe even 14-2. I expect them to win all their home games and win most of their road games. So probably around, I'll say 13-3. They're going to be the top team in the NFC this year, and San Francisco is going to be right behind them, probably finishing around 12-4. Colin Kaepernick, very good quarterback. Maybe not be the most accurate passer, but he's such a threat on the field, just to run and pass the ball. You just always have to be accountable for him and Frank Gore. Even though Frank Gore is getting up there in age, he still produces and he still gets yards. And the 49ers have one of the best receiver sets in the league with Anquan Boldin, Vernon Davis, Michael Crabtree, other players like that just make that team complete. Their defense is amazing, and I expect both teams to do extremely well. Now, for the Arizona Cardinals, I expect them to finish 9-7. They're going to be missing the playoffs, but just like a game or so, or maybe even like 11-5, but they'll still miss the playoffs because of the division they're in. I don't know. I'll say 10-6. I'll give them 10-6. They're a good team. They know how to get the job done. They may not have the well-known names to get it done, but they have the players to just. They may not have well-known players, but they have players that get it done. Larry Fitzgerald, still in my opinion, is one of the best receivers in the league. Just not as well-known as he used to be. So, and on to the last place team, the St. Louis Rams. Now with that team at 100%, I saw them last year. They were decent. Their defense was very good. They don't have much of an offensive. They don't have many offensive weapons, which makes them kind of sluggish at times on offense. Outside of Sam Bradford, who I think is a pretty good quarterback, he just hasn't been able to stay healthy. I think he's a very I wouldn't say he's very good, but he's a pretty good quarterback, in my opinion. So, I mean, just give him a shot with actual weapons and put him on a team with, like, San Francisco, and he would take that team to the promised land. I promise. Like, that guy's good. You just got to give him weapons. You got to give him guys who can catch the ball. So, I expect the Rams to finish around 7-9 again. Maybe even 8-8. That's a tough division to win in, especially with the two best teams in the NFC in that division, San Francisco and Seattle. But on to the playoffs for the NFC. We have, I think it's going to be Philadelphia, Washington, representing the East. We have the Packers in the North. We have the Falcons and Saints in the South. No, we have the Falcons. No, wait, hold on. I think it's going to be 49ers, Seahawks for 2. Those are the top 2 teams, even though Seattle's the only one to get the first round bye. Then you got Green Bay, New Orleans, Atlanta, and either Philadelphia or Washington. I really can't pick a clear-cut winner in that division because both teams are pretty good. Both teams are threats, but we'll just say one of those 2. So out of the NFC, I think it's not going to be Seattle, I think. As good as they are, I don't think Seattle's going to win it all this year. I think it might be Green Bay or maybe even San Francisco. But that's going to be a tough... The NFC is a gauntlet. It really is. So expect really just a dogfight every single game, whether it's the bottom team in that chase or the top team. Everybody's going to get a dogfight in that division, or in that conference. But if I had to choose one or 2 teams, I would probably have to say either Green Bay or San Francisco, because I think if the Packers were 100%, they probably could have 100% the whole season. I think they could have made it last year. But Seattle, congrats to them. They won the Super Bowl last year. Very good team. Richard Sherman, probably one of the best corners in the league. Probably next to Patrick Peterson and all those players. Darrelle Revis. He's on the cover of Madden, for crying out loud. But out of the AFC, Denver will be a threat, of course. New England, of course, too. I don't think Cincinnati's going to make enough noise. I think they might actually win a playoff game for once this year. They might actually make it to the second round. Other than that, I really don't see anybody in that conference making a threat. I think it might be either New England or Denver again. New England's always a threat. Just putting that out there. So, leave your thoughts on who you think is going to go to the Super Bowl this year. Who do you got winning it? I honestly think that it's going to be, if it's Green Bay going to the Super Bowl, I got Green Bay. If it's Green Bay versus Denver, I got Green Bay. If it's Green Bay versus New England, I probably would take Green Bay again. So I think Green Bay is going to be my Super Bowl pick this year. I really think they're going to stay healthy and actually get in chemistry, get into rhythm, and actually start winning games. Because last year they just could not stay healthy. I think they went through like 3 different starting quarterbacks last year, which wasn't good for their system. And they didn't have any chemistry. The chemistry just wasn't there. So I'll take Green Bay to win the Super Bowl this year. So who you guys got winning the Super Bowl this year? Please leave it in the comments section below. And also, like I said at the very beginning of this video, I know this was a long video for you guys, but are you guys hyped for Madden 15 Buccaneers franchise? I certainly am. Buccaneers are my favorite team. I expect to do good things with them, turn that team around, and take them to the promised land. And as always, guys, you know who I am. My name is Sim with Vengeance. Make sure you leave your comments, because all those comments are surely appreciated. But until next time, my name is Sim with Vengeance, and I am the Mayor of Jam City. Make sure you drop a like on this video. Make sure you subscribe if you're a first-time viewer. And until then, I'm out. Peace.